Hey, we're back. We're going to be looking at Crispr. So this is the last of our hype type stocks that we're looking at until we move on to the value category that at least I'm following. So before I get into it, if you have any differing opinions or just want to share any of your viewpoints on CRISPR, please let me know. I'd be very interested to read that. Um, but otherwise, let's just kind of look at the technicals on this one, and we'll just kind of see what we can find. So right now, uh, just to kind of catch us up, the last time we looked at this was right here, right in this red bar. It was when we checked, it was at $50, and I was saying to buy this one at 45. It's currently at 45, and it looks like had we timed it, we could have got it in like 43, 44. That said, it is right now at 45, so I'm going to update that. I know I bought this one at 50 just because I kind of like this stock. I like where their thought process is. I'm not sure how it'll play out in the future, but I think this is a very unique idea, and if it can become successful, I like it. And yeah, I want to see how it plays out in the long term. And besides that, there's good potential. I mean, right now it's at 45. It had a high point of 200. So if it does work out, there's a lot of room to grow. And as we've seen in the past, it can grow very fast. So I'm willing to take a chance on this. And again, it's at this buy point at 45. That's acted as resistance in the past, really just once, I guess. A few times in the early stages, it acted as resistance too, but more recently, 45 has acted as resistance really just that one time. Um, and right now, I guess we can still call that support just because when it came, when it went below 45, you can see the next week it bounced right back up to 45. It went below that mark again just 2 weeks ago, and then the last week it came right back. So 45 does seem to be where the buyers and or where the buyers step in whenever people try to sell out of this one. And so I kind of have that same opinion. I think it's a good time to buy. Uh, I'm also going to update the date just so I don't forget. Um, Something else I think worth mentioning. It looks like there's less activity on this one. Again, that might not mean much, but just because there's low activity, I feel like if activity can pick up, that that could lead to good things with this one. But otherwise, um, you could say we're in a little bit of a downtrend. Uh, it's kind of just trading sideways, at least going back to December of last year. It's really just kind of traded sideways for the past, I guess, just 4 months. I I'm not gonna put in the downtrend lines right now, just because I feel like it's more of a sideways pattern as opposed to a downward pattern. Uh, I guess what we could do, and again, this is really just a thought, if anything, but you can see it's gone up, it's gone down, and if it kind of continues that, we'll see how this one plays out. Um, we'll see if it kind of just continues that pattern. Again, I think if anything, it might be more consistent along the 45 as opposed to hitting these lows back to 40 like it did here in January. But we'll kind of see. We'll see how this pattern plays out. I think that's It's definitely possible. Hopefully, this point kind of picks up, so it kind of trends upwards, and maybe these kind of are lower, something more like that. So you can see it's very slight, but I can maybe even exaggerate a little bit. But it's a little bit higher of highs and a little bit higher of lows. Uh, that's at least the positive thinking. But we'll see how that plays out. Outside of that, pretty small, 3.5 billion. I just want to look at if there's any news. Here's a new $1 million reason. Okay. Let me know if anything stands out to you. Nothing's really popping out to me. Announces departure of board. Okay, so someone important left there. That's interesting. Vertex licensing deal. Okay, so they're in collaboration with Vertex, very big therapeutics company. A licensing agreement. Outside of that, event, that's nothing. Face of stock market. Okay, so not much move, not much moves with this one. They did collaborate with Vertex, but outside of that, that's it. Um, they're still within the range of what people were thinking. It's definitely on the low range. Um, they crushed last quarter. They they were projected. It looks like. What? Am I reading this right? Is this scale off? Oh yeah, okay. So they thought they were going to lose like 2.3 or $2.30 per share last quarter, and they only lost 140. So that's very positive. It looks like they're expecting a lot better. In terms of the finances, so again, they're at 3.5 billion market cap. Financials, I have no idea what I'm looking at. 436. I have no idea what this is. Is this a mistake? I have no idea what happened here. It looks like something got messed up. Let me look at their balance sheet, and we'll look at their cash flows too, just because that might give us a little better insight. I mean, they don't owe anything. 121,000, or I guess million current assets. They have close to 2 billion in assets. So this one's actually pretty fairly valued, I would say, in terms of assets. And it's all in cash. That's crazy. This company is valued at $2.3 billion. It has $1.8 billion in cash. That's crazy. Um, and let's see if this addresses the revenue, operating cash flows. So they're not really making money, at least on a quarterly. They made some in 2021, but yeah, so they're not really they're not making money. I'll tell you that. So that's not looking good for them. So that makes sense why they're so low. I wonder if it'll change. Uh, I don't know if that's a mistake or not. So they're saying they only made $6, or I guess $6,000 in 2022, like the fourth quarter of 2022. That's very interesting. I'm trying to think. I don't remember the website. I'll look into it. I'll try to pull up their financial statements because I don't know if it's here. Q4 earnings. Does this show? Total revenues $14.6 million. Okay, so I don't know where they got the 6 from then, but they made $14.6 million last year. So not very good. Oh wait, that's Theravin. Oh man, I looked at the wrong one. Okay, scratch that. Crispr Q4 earnings. Okay, what'd they make? Crispr net loss fourth quarter. Is it gonna say the full year? Did I miss it? Crispr total revenues came out fourth quarter. A year ago. Okay. Full year results generated total revenues of 1.2 million. So it's even worse actually. So they made 1.2 million dollars in revenues in 2022. Pretty crappy, if you ask me. So that kind of makes sense why it's trading so low. 1.2 million, and if we just go back here, they have a ton of cash, so hopefully they can kind of pick things up and make some sales. But yeah, this one's clearly a long-term thing. You got to see a vision with this one. But if we'll just zoom out. So I guess I'm gonna add a little note. Not profitable today. 1.2 mil in sales 2022. I'm just gonna keep that for reference, but otherwise, strictly technical analysis. It's currently at 45. That seems to be a buy point. At least in the short term, it could hit 90, and that's reasonable. That's 2x. Why not? Why not take a chance on this one? I think this one has high potential for the future, and so that's kind of what I'm seeing with this one. It's a buy and hold for at least a year, if not multiple years. But please let me know your thoughts on this one. I'd be very interested to hear that. But otherwise, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.